Welcome to another edition of Soul Talk Series. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time and your attention to what I got to present today. Just come on in, step up, relax your feet, get you something to sip on, popcorn or whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. Come on in. Let's go into this Soul Talk series. All right? Okay. You got it? Let's go. So what we're going to talk about today is serenity and peace. I kind of walk in that on a daily basis, no matter what is kind of like going on in my life. I try to live, a certain way and have a certain attitude, altitude of how I want to deal with anything that comes our way. So it's one of those things. I don't like to be stressed. I don't like to have a life full of anxiety, those things that affects the body so much. And we just can't really concentrate or, live the life that we need to live because we got all this interference that has different things that brings up, different situation or a certain outcome. So we want to be mindful of that. And I'm going to talk, from the artist perspective. I have some artists that I'm going to list, for you to could check out at the end of the show, kind of like put you in the mode because we need any strength that's going to push us, motivate us, and give us the right, I say ammunition, for life. We need to have that in our arsenal to bring, that peace and serenity in our life. So sometimes we got to fight for it. We got to have a place to deal with our emotion. And that's what I'm going to be covering here is our emotion. I wrote a few things down just to kind of gather me and keep me, structured a little bit. So I'm just going to be taking a peek here. And then what I'm going to say, far as, the peace and harmony, not harmony, but peace and serenity is having a sense of calm and contentment and harmony with oneself. So just think about that. Having sense of calm, contentment with oneself. When we're stressed out, it's kind of hard to put yourself in that position, but when you practice and you put your mindset, you kind of like, you have your positive affirmation when you first rise, and you just want to put something good within you so you can have a good chance of starting off. I always recommend that if you really, really wants to perfect it, is start doing meditation. As soon as you awaken, start doing that and give yourself a chance to reset and set the tone for your day. So that's how you can really start manifesting that peace and serenity. And the emotional and the spiritual challenge is kind of where I'm coming from today because I've been through some things, recently, been through a divorce. So that is, that had a big effect on my whole inner being because I'm just like, wow, one of those things that, you really don't wish for, you don't see coming because that's not the ultimate goal. And when it just rips up and things have to go that route, it's like, wow, what I'm going to do next? How am I going to deal with this emotion? How I'm going to deal with this? And, a lot of times what I had at that point of time, I had anger. And I was just like, what can I do with this? How can I make this better? How can I make this go away? But when you're in the rage moment, it's very challenging. So that's why I say all my, podcasts that I'm talking about is coming from personal experience, stuff that I dealt with and or been so closely, around and near and dear that you just like, wow, how did I overcome that? So I'm sharing some of those, pivotal moments, it's just been times where you're just like, wow, I'm really blessed. I am blessed to be around, to be here because it could have been so much worse, and things could have been, not so good. So what we're talking about here is the vents that I was referring to. It could have taken me to a dark place, and that's why I be having pause, because I'm just like, wow, I could have went dark in this moment. Could have just let a life over consume me, and just you're in those inner thoughts. You got that rolling through your head, and you're just like, wow, where can I go from here? And what can I, really understand about this matter that's happening in real time? You don't have much time to really come up with a different plan. You're like, okay, let's insert this, let's insert that. Because it's in real time. You just like, you have split seconds to make a decision and how you want to deal with that. And that's why I say, when you start off your day, and each time, you build that character, you build that side of you with that character, that strength of, I'm always going to be in peace. I am always going to be in serenity. You can't come in my life and disrupt that, no matter what I'm facing. It's not going to happen today. So we want to take charge, take ownership of that, and just really walk it. And what I had to do is definitely what I'm saying. I had to truly learn how to walk and preach that, what I am is showing you today, and what I ultimately want to become in that position. So it just take you back. You're just like, wow, I am really a life example of how you go straight in with this, and not have to tear up nothing, not have to destroy nothing. You can do it peacefully, you can do it gracefully, you can do it with, good, um, positive, formation, how you move. We just gotta, our whole body language, it has to be a certain way, because, and when I look at I can see some of the videos, how my emotional look in the physical realm. It was very sad. It was definitely a downward spiral. But I had those remedies where I was doing my self care. That's why I said self care and loving yourself has to be top priority for you. You have to do that, because like I said, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. So you have to really be aware. So this is more of an awareness tip of what we need to do. And then when I said, when you first waking up, do your meditation. I really, really start to master that. And that's really when you can get into your thoughts and start canceling stuff out. You can kind of like, okay, what is this emotion? What is in front of me right now? What can I do with this? Do I need to cry today? Do I need to shed that out of my, I said, out of your muscles, out of your skin, out of your cells, because it runs deep. It runs deep. We don't know. It has to be more than just the surface level. And that's where you help yourself go inner, your inner word, your inner being. It really produce, that environment where you can really go in there and have surgery. You can have that surgery when you're in that state of mind. So we want to put it in place how we can do that. You can do silent meditation. You can do one that's already, I forgot the term, but they already help you with the meditation. So they're already talking you through it, because sometimes, especially when you're in those emotional states, you're going to need somebody else speaking some good things in you. So sometimes you're not able to formulate, the right attitude that you need for this moment of time, because you're so emotional distraught. So yes, you can find those type of meditation. You can do that. You can do just music, depending on what hurts you want to look at. So that all that calculates to what you need to help you get through things. And I did that. I did sound meditation, and I did the sound bowls. So I did different things depending on what it calls. And I had to write down. I did journaling. I did stuff where my thoughts can really come out, and then I can write it out and just deal with it and just let it go. So we want to do that. So just get into that mode, just get into daily practice, because that's going to help you. We're talking about serenity and peace. We need that, and then, like I said, with that anger, I had to move that energy. So I had to get in, and I'm just glad I had some help with that. I got involved with qigong, and that just helps so your energy doesn't get stagnant. Just like the emotion will get buried all different places, your organs, every different places in your body. That energy has to move too because it'll erupt into something else. So that's where your action will be so detriment to anything that you start to put in the physical. So we want to make sure you get that intact. So I had to move that energy. So you can email me at ajnaturals17 at gmail, and we can go into more details of how that helped me and what I need to do so I can be assistant to you. We can do that. I'm willing to share that information. So, and then also can assist. And what you want to do with that is just a way of focusing, getting in tune with your body. So we have to, that's why I said loving yourself, you getting in tune and you just feel everything. And that's what we need to be. We need to be where we can feel. So if you're not feeling, you're numb to all your emotion, you're just going to be out of person just like walking as a zombie. You're not in control of anything. So you want to keep that part of that antenna peaked high so you know where the problems are coming from, where the issues lie, because that's going to give you a good radar detector of there's something going down and I need to correct it. So yeah, qigong, I'm not gonna get up and do the movements, so and the things like that, but it's definitely a key, and I definitely appreciate that being able to assist myself in that matter, and I was just able to dissolve a lot of that, and I can get back into my peace and serenity. So that is just one of those things that we have to really look at, because nobody's going to be there for us. We got to learn to be self-efficient and know how to survive on our own and know how to deal with, different adversity. So we want to do that. And then I had, therapy. Therapy is very important because sometimes, we get irrational with our thoughts and we want to respond and sometimes, we're not strong enough to deal with those emotions. Especially when you're at the beginning, you're still trying to, learning about your journey, your spiritual journey, everything that's that becomes new and different. So it's just like, wow, I really can put forth an effort to really combat anything that will gravitate of me doing something that I will always regret later. So we want to keep that out of those time frames where we do situations where we regret and it's hard to take back. So we got to be in position to be able to formulate whatever we need. Every situation is different, so you got to be able to move. You got to be free spirit. You got to be able to do this and go here in each different scenario. So it's not one cookie cutter principle. So you have to really evolve in different things. So that's why you always want to take care of yourself. Discover who you are. So you always be where you want to be and be the person you need to be. So we're not trying to be what your parents want you to be, what your whoever like your coworkers, your boss. You truly want to be who you are, and that way you can be more authentic and you know how to navigate because now you're being true to yourself. And so we have to pull together with life's ups and downs and with the sense of inner tranquility, accepting oneself fully. So that kind of goes in what I was just saying. You want to accept yourself fully, really grow into who you need to be. And sometimes that takes a long time, from the point from us being a child, teenager, young adult, mid adult, seniors. So we go through changes depending on our situation, where we come up and how we were brought, brought up. Everybody environment was not the same, so we have different results, different applications, and that's something that we have to navigate, and we don't always have the tools to do that. So when you tap into your inner self, you can discover, okay, hey, I got this going on. I got this going on. It's just like, wow. So certain things will start coming to the forefront, especially when you start cleaning up. When you start letting go of different things, you're asking for forgiveness. You forgive yourself. You do all the things that's necessary for this uplifting moment, so you can carry yourself into the next dimension or wherever you want to go, so you can have that peace and serenity. Because sometimes we got to come out of this situation. Everything around us is not peaceful. So we got to learn how to elevate above that. And we can see ourselves in our own euphoria. And that'll keep us in that mode. That's kind of like where I live. I kind of like manifest that for myself so I can have that peace of mind every day when I wake up. And so we need to take a deeper look at being at peace with one's emotions, desires, and experience. So everybody experiences different. So our emotions going to dictate how we move. So sometimes that's very difficult for most of us to keep that in check, especially our females, um, with their ability to rule and run by that. That's makes you so great with your femininity. So it just makes it um, more in your face. And sometimes it's hard to deal with that at times, depending on the situation, especially when things are not looking good and being in the greatest position for yourself. So we want to make sure our desires, what do we want our outcome to be? We got to make sure we living into that into that time frame. Yeah, it doesn't look like I grew up. Um, Things were different. I had so many challenges. Just like, but I kept pressing through. And just like I said, your life circumstances, whatever you deal with, your job, your family life, you want to make sure everything's in sequence, where you wanted to see it to come. So we tap into manifestation. So we want to make sure everything is follow um, to whatever our purpose of our life, because everybody is different. So we got to understand who that is and where we want it to go and how we need to take it there. And like I said about my anger, I dealt with that in so many different, ways, different places at my former employer. There's been things that I could have just, you know, not handled properly. But like I said, I've been trying to make sure I have a peace of mind every time. So I kind of like look things from a full lens perspective, seeing the big picture, where if I had this happening to me, where would this place me, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road? How would that impact where I need to go and what my future should look like? So we got to be in the present so we able to check that emotion with that anger. And like I said, I am blessed. I am so happy that I made the right choices, that I didn't give in to any of those desires or thoughts, and I was able to check it. I was able to say, "Oh, that doesn't benefit anyone. That doesn't benefit you, and it definitely doesn't benefit your legacy that's going to come behind you." So we have to really understand, man, difficult times makes your heart grow you're either going to go one way, it's going to go harder, or it's just going to go into the openness of your heart. Because sometimes when we go through challenges, we want to shut that heart down, we want to close it up, and it's like no one else is going to be there, no one is else ever going to hold space there, because that's what that anger does. It just want to shut it down. It's like, nope, Just I did that, and it just look where I end up. Because sometimes, we don't we don't see the alertness that our body has, and it allows us to say, "Oh, oh, 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 let's stop, let's regroup, let's see what's going on, let's do a self check," and then because we see one thing, and then it also it's not it's just not for us, and we have to remove ourselves. And that's the difficult part, because now you feel like your life has been wasted, and you're just like, wow, this is not what I really desired at that point. But sometimes things have to go a certain way so you can evolve, and life has a chance, has a way of redirecting us and getting us to a place where we need to be. So that's what I'm going to talk about there. It's all about cultivating a profound connection with oneself and the inner being, fostering awareness, and nurturing a positive mindset that allows for emotional healing, growth, and fulfillment. And like I said, there's always, a light at the end of the tunnel. You go through this dark tunnel and you feel like, man, there's like, I don't see what the purpose of me even trying to fight through this. Why do I need to go on? I had so many pit holes, so many traps, so many, obstacles, and what has it done for me? Where has it gotten me? It's just like, wow. But I'm just here to say, don't give up. Don't let that be your only outcome. Don't let that be your moment of judgment. When we're talking about peace and serenity, just make sure we can flip that. You won't be in those situations, it becomes, far and dear. And that's what we want, because now once you deal with oneself, you're able to make, those atonements, whatever that, that you had to correct. You're able to move past that. You're able to now let's plant new seeds. Let's start a new environment for ourselves. And that's what I was talking about, the euphoria. Let's create something that's going to be so magnificent. You just can't wait to be in that moment of that time, and you just take account of how that makes you feel. What expression does that give you? What that makes your heart feel like. We don't want to close off that heart. We want to keep it open, because that's vital for us. For our being, for our spiritual aspect, it's definitely vital for us, and we don't want that to be closed off. What can we do to repair that heart? That's why I always use music, because music has always been there. It's always been part of my life. That's made me a great artist and a great musician, because I was like, man, I'm dealing with these emotions right now, and I can hear this in this song. I can hear it with this note. The strings that we play, it has a healing vibration to it. So we want to make sure we're feeding ourselves with good stuff, and we want to make sure we're listening to ourselves. And sometimes we have to step away from all the noise, all the distractions, and just let that be that place where you need to be. And and that's perfect for meditation. That is perfect. And so now you can really start to hone in. You're being on a self-discovery. You find out more things about yourself that you never knew was there, because now that situation brought this to surface. It brought it to light. So that's what I'm talking about. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And it brings me to, great joy and peace. It's like, wow. And you find yourself, hey, you switching up your career path, you switching up your hobbies, you switching up your friends, you're switching up, you're just doing a whole lot of, upgrading, you just like, I want to be where I need to be, and I want to stay there. So you have to check everything, your environment. So you start getting into new aspects of your life. It's like, wow, I didn't know I can create this. I didn't know I can do this, or I'm starting this, I'm starting that. It's just like, man, and I have more motivation than I ever had in my life, because now you got all that weight off your shoulders. You can clear pathways, from your heart, and you can really, be who you need to be. And I always refer to, be what God and the universe has placed us here to do. And we can understand that more about ourselves by, you know, sitting there. Sometimes we got to sit in it. I didn't like it, and I was able to do that, but I have other ways of channeling and coming out of those moments, And it's just like, you have that one friend or that one place that you can go that, it steps you out, it puts you in the right mode, in the right environment. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get more into that, but just play this back and just think of those remedies, those things that kind of like put your mind at ease. We don't need to harm ourselves. We don't need to do all those things, harm others. We can deal with things on a spiritual aspect and on a physical aspect when we put it all together. So I wrote down, thank you guys for listening, but I wrote down some powerful songs from this artist, that people really, don't hear or see about a lot. So, y'all remember NDRE? She was, that was like, when I first heard her playing the guitar, man, she was really on point, and her message on her song was great. So I wrote down four of her songs. You guys got to check out Video. I love that song. It's heavy guitar. Dun, dun, ga, dun, 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 dun. I would love to play the music, but I don't have no copyright issues. So, yeah, the video is uplifting. It's upbeat. She has, it's about herself and, working on different things, having the right outcome. So just check those out. And another one, a good one, especially for you ladies, Beautiful. Check that out. Just listen to that. That'd be some of the things, sometimes meditation you don't have to be still or in one spot, but you're hearing good lyrics, different vibes, different music tone, everything. It shifts this thing. It shifts your mind and your emotion. So just check that out. You can be cleaning, you can be doing different things around the house, maybe having a mini workout. That's what I did before I got to this podcast, and working out is definitely help in channeling that emotion. And another song, Strength, Courage, and Wisdom by NDRE. And then Heart of the Matter. So just look at that and listen to the lyrics. It's really, really, give you that foundation of peace and serenity. And, Side A is for the younger generation, SDAE. And she has a great song that we all love. This thing is a major classic, Smooth Operator. She just, her voice, her tone, everything comes through. It's just so nice, man. You just be sitting there, Smooth Operator, and then you see how her beauty, how she looked too. So, but it's just her tone, her voice. It's just so soothing, and the lyrics. It's definitely something that you want to listen to and pay attention. No ordinary love. That's one of her classic again. So just check that out. Revisit those songs. I'm having trouble with my own writing. By Your Side is another good song by Sade, and then The Sweetest Taboo. So just check those out. And then my last one, everybody love and know, Jill Scott. So she just brings that whole vibe. So to just check that out with you, to kind of tap into that peace and serenity. So He Loves Me is a good song that she wrote. A Long Walk, and Golden. Everybody know Golden. Living your life like it's golden. It's high energy. It puts you in that mode of manifestation. Just bring that vibe into your life. Just ride with it. Yes. And The Way. So those are good songs by good artists. So just check those out. And like I said, I appreciate you guys tapping in the Soul Talk series and Matters of the Heart. And it was lovely to be able to bring this. I was like, you know, letting the spirit just kind of work through this and navigate this whole podcast, for today. So I hope you got something out of it, and just love yourself. It's always going to be the theme that I have is loving yourself, because that's what I had to do through every situation, every encounter. You know, you still have to take a look, and it's only going to be you, and treat yourself nice. Look nice, feel nice, be nice, work out. And we already know about the food. So that's it. That's conclude my podcast for today. So tune in for the next series, you guys. I love to have you. You can email me again for any questions, or you want to go deeper into what I'm talking about, or you want me to tap more into my experience. I welcome that. Thank you for tuning in. So good night, and peace, love, and happiness.